Carlos Nelson with Cascade Sports. And today we have another coach and two of his players. I like to coaches to introduce themselves. Who do we have here?
Yeah, my name is John Holmes. I'm the head football coach at Bishop Miege High School, going into my 9th year as a head coach and my 17th season overall at the school. And then we have two of our team captains, quarterback Timothy Dorsey and defensive back Carson Key with us as well.
Hey, Timothy, raise your hand. All right. Hey, Coach, you already know the drill, man. Let's get on with it. The ball is in your court.
Yeah, that's right. Football has obviously been a big part of my life. Started playing the game when I was in 5th grade, and then played, through grade school, and then played in high school, and actually graduated from Bishop Miege. So, this is home to me. It's a place I grew up a block away and now live.
What years was that, Coach?
Yep, I played in 1998 to 2001. Were the years that I played there. And then went on to Fort Scott Community College in 2002 and 2003, and then got injured in the spring of 2004, and decided that coaching was my passion and what I wanted to get involved with. So came back home, and luckily my high school coach, Dan Ritter, hired me to coach tight ends in 2004. And then when he left the program in 2005 and we hired Tim Grunhard, Coach Grunhard kept me on the staff in 2006. Then I took over as the offensive coordinator in 2008, and then took over as the head coach from him in 2012 when he left and went to KU. So I've done everything there is to do in the Miege program, from giving water on game days as a water boy, ball boy. I did the chain crew as a grade school kid in our JV football games, and then I was a player and now a coach and now the head coach. So blessed to be in this situation, and blessed to be around great players. That's for sure.
Coach, talk as I talk to the kids off cameras. Who were some of your mentors?
Yeah, my biggest one is my dad.
What's his
name?
My
dad instilled a lot. My dad is Jim Holmes.
Hey, Jim, baby boy, shouting out at you.
He's been instrumental in my life. Instilling a lot of things in me. Not quitting, not giving up on things, and in the playing world and the coaching world, there's a lot of days where things don't necessarily go your way, and you can't give up. And that's something I've had in me, really since I started playing. So,
what coaches?
Something that has stuck with me.
What coaches were instrumental in building your coaching skill set?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I go back to my high school coach, Coach Dan Ritter. Instilled a lot of things about the weight room. And then really, as I started coaching for him, really instilled more things about how to build a program and how to develop players. And then coaches that coached me, Jared Smith is one that sticks out. Played for him at Fort Scott Community College.
What did you learn from Jared? Run that down. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but
absolutely. Coach Smith was a guy that always shot you straight, and that's what I liked. If you were doing something that wasn't supposed to be done, he'd tell you. He'd tell you all your weaknesses, which is what's great. And that's one thing I've tried to instill in our players is, let's not necessarily keep working on everything that we're good at doing. Let's find the one or two things we got to fix. And that's something that's really been good. And then, as a coach, I think it really starts with what Coach Grunhard started with me. He hired me, I was 21. Yep, Grunny. I was 21, 22 years old when he hired me as the offensive coordinator. So, he trusted me and instilled a lot of things in me, and is still somebody that I talk to on a regular basis about football and about the game, and, always JD. Trying to get better with him. That's right.
This program is brought to you by the City of Fountains Coaches Association.
Yeah, he in his interviews, he was very the crew that helped you as mentors helped a lot of young coaches that are coaching now that have, and this is in my estimation, really good philosophies on how to coach how to handle our young men, because you've been mentored by some of the finest. Other thing I want to say about you, excuse me, is listening to your story. You homegrown.
Absolutely. Born and raised, I grew up a block away from here, and now I live right next door to the school. So, the Miege community is one that's been special in my life, and really lucky to be in this situation, being able to make sure that these
When
kids
I
all
say
have.
homegrown, not just the Miege, I'm talking about Fort Scott. There are so many of our student athletes that have gone on with different careers that went to Fort Scott and these local colleges. Basically, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You homegrown. You wasn't too far from the home front. No time in your career.
No, that's right. Always close. I think the furthest away I was about 2 hours. Definitely like being around Kansas City and like calling it my home. That's for sure.
All right, so give our audience now. Let's get where the rubber meets the road. You say you've been at Miege how long?
This is my 17th year overall in my
Run
ninth
them seasons down in succession.
Yeah, early on in my assistant coaching career, I think we struggled a little bit. 2004, 2005. Didn't win a ton of games, and then Coach Grunhard got hired in 06. 06 was definitely that foundation year where it took some building, and then 7 and 8 we showed an improvement every single year. And then 2009 we won our first state championship since 1977, which was huge for the program. And then 10 and 11 we battled and lost to Blue Valley both years in the playoffs. Tough games. And then 2012.
What did you learn from them games, and what did the staff learn, and what did your players learn, you felt?
Yeah, I think you always got to coach to win the game. One of the games we went for 2 at the end of the game and didn't get it. And then what was crazy is the next year, 2012, we stopped a team trying to go for 2 to win a game in the quarterfinals. So, we wanted to make sure our guys were ready to play in big games and ready to play in big playoff games. And then 2012, first season as the head coach, we did advance to the 5A state championship football game, and it did not end well. We got blown out in that game, but I think that experience alone taught me a lot. It taught our program a lot.
What did it teach you? Tell our audience and our coaches.
Yeah, well, number one, I think it humbles you. You get to a state championship game, you think you're doing a good job, and then the team across from you blows you out. So, that's something where I think the preparation for how we prepare for a state game is now kind of based on those types of things. We got to be ready for all situations.
What was your frame of mind after that blowout?
Got to find a way to get back. And that's what we've been able to do. 6
you kept
of those
a positive frame of mind. You didn't say because I was an athlete when bad things happen. Sometimes I couldn't get over it for a minute. Now I was in a track and field, but
I think we had to get over it. I think we had a good group of kids coming back, and to play good teams. Bishop Carroll was the team that we played, and they were one of the dominant programs in 5A, and we wanted to get to that mark. So we knew there was work to be done after that game, and that's what kept us hungry. And like I said, 6 of the last 7 years, we've been in that state championship game, winning 6 in a row. So, I think our guys understand
running
what
the
it takes
table
now.
on them, baby.
That's right. It's hard work. But, I think our kids understand that, and our coaching staff understands that, and that's what makes it great.
Last question for you, Coach. When I ran track back in the 60s, I was known as a scrub. But by the time I was a senior, I was a big track star. Have you taken any of the athletes, and I'm sure you have, that you just barely made the team, and then, because that's the mark of a coach to me. Athletes have certain amount of prowess, certain amount of physical, this and that, but whether you can take a kid and turn them into a top flight athlete. Have you done that?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's one thing that our program prides itself in. This year, especially in the 2020 season, we have 13 first-time starters as seniors. So I think that tells us, if a kid comes through our program and he puts the work in, he's going to be ready to play. If it's not his sophomore year, not his junior year, he'll definitely be ready to play his senior year. And we've been blessed with that. Every year there's 4 or 5 seniors who are first year varsity players who still want to go on to play in college, and they've been able to do that. So, that's a compliment to our players and who come in, I think, from day one and buy into our program, because it's a year-round thing.
Where does all
summer,
right now? You should know that Cascade Sports is home of the student athlete. Where does that academic part fall in your program?
Oh, that's a big part of what we do. I know eligibility-wise, we're a week-to-week eligibility team. Where kids got to be passed in their classes. So, I think too, the academic curriculum here at Miege is strong. And really supports our students really, really well. So we've had a lot of track record having successful athletes as well as student athletes. In the last 3 years, we have sent 3 kids on to the Ivy League to play football at Cornell, Princeton, and Harvard. So you're talking 3 of the top academic schools in the country. So, we are able to develop our guys academically, and our players get it. Our players understand that the academics is part of what it means to be a student athlete, and that's what sets our kids apart from others.
All right, Coach, who we got here?
So we got our senior captain, 2-year starter quarterback, Timothy Dorsey, and then defensive back, Carson Key. And Carson's been around our program since his brother Kalen's played for us in 2012. And then Timothy's been around really since about the same time, since about a 4th grader coming to our camps growing up. So both these young men are big parts of our program who have been involved in our program for a long, long time.
Who am I going in on first, Coach?
You got to start with the QB, right?
All right.
You got to start with Timothy Dorsey.
Hey, Timothy. Run your measurements down, first of all, to our audience, because our audience, when you sitting down and some of the short guys look tall and some of the tall guys look short. Give me some weight, height, and all of that.
Yeah. 6 foot 185.
All right. You been in the weight room, son?
Yeah, always.
Always? Is the weight room one of your best friends?
Yeah, it has to be, to play this position.
All right. How long have you been playing quarterback?
I would say since about 8th grade, freshman year. I first started playing quarterback, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go back on the time machine on you. You know the drill, all the way back.
Yeah, so I started playing football when I was 4, started playing flag football, and then started playing tackle football in 2nd grade for the Shawnee Mission Northwest Cougars from 2nd grade to 6th grade. And then 7th grade, I played for the KC Bulldogs. And then 8th grade, I played CYO with the St. Agnes football team.
Any memorable coaches?
Yeah. Coach Billy Mitchell for the Cougars, his son was my really good friend, and we've always kept in contact. And he just, for me, started to just develop the base of football and just the fundamentals and everything. And then Coach Jay Fountain, he's still in my life today, and he's a really good coach, and he was a really good person.
What did you get? What have you gotten in your little young life from him?
Mm-hmm.
Or them
just grit, toughness, the competitive edge. We got blown out one game, and we ran sprints on the field after the game, and we came back, and I was like, I've never done this before. I've never had a coach that and made us run sprints, and he was just always about the next game and about how we're going to improve. And I still keep that today, just being able to take one game at a time and being able to build on the next thing.
I've been doing a lot of interviews. It seemed like a lot of times, whether it's the basketball or all of these sports, the ones that really succeed, and I was going to say this to your coach, are the ones that can put those defeats behind them. Soon as they happen, right. They on to the next game. They on to the next strategy. They're not and that seemed like that's a string that is going through your career, being handed off to Bishop Miege with the same type philosophy. Go on, son.
So Coach Jay Found, and then Coach Mark Pedrati. He's just like, it was kind of like a good transition from CYO to Miege, and just like the coaching style, and just getting kind of in that like Catholic, I guess, situation with Miege and St. Agnes. But and then my dad, he's always been a big part of my life, and he's always been coaching me, and he's always on the sideline. You can hear him screaming. I hear him screaming sometimes on the sideline, but he's always been just a coach in my life, and like obviously
What's your
my
dad's
biggest
name?
mentor. Tim Dorsey.
Hey, Tim, baby boy, he hollering at you. I know you hear him. Hey, Dorsey, tell me this. What kind of arm you got on a 1 to 10? A cannon is a 10, if you didn't know.
I'd say I'm
and I got
pretty
Coach
close,
here, so that if you
10.
get out of line, when I ask him, he's going to give us the real deal, 1 to 10.
Pretty close to a 10. I'd give myself a 9. I wouldn't say like I'm on Mahomes' level, but I have pretty strong
can you
arm,
throw a
I'd say
50-yard strike, son?
Yes. No doubt.
Oh yeah, he can do it.
Oh,
That's it.
Bam. All right. What would you consider your feet work on a 1 to 10?
I'd say probably like a 6 or 7. I'm not like I wouldn't say I run the ball a lot, but when I do, I'm really effective with it, and it's like coming out of nowhere. So it's kind of like,
are you shifting?
They think I'm gonna pass it. Yes, yeah. I get out of tough situations, kind of just awareness, kind of like feel. And, if I'm in that situation where I need to run the ball, I'm obviously going to pick up like a big chunk of yards, but I'm not a person that's going to run first.
Young man says, obviously, I'm going to pick up a big chunk of yards. All right. Hey, Coach, give an assessment of his abilities.
Oh, absolutely. I think, when you think of Miege, quarterback play is usually one of the things that you think about with the guys that we've had. Going back to Max Shortell, Montel Cozart, Ryan Willis, Carter Putz, Sam Pedrati, and then now Tim. And I think the expectations are high at that position at this school. And Tim has lived up to every one of those. Obviously he's not, he didn't get the college offers, on accident. All that was his play and the things that he brings to the huddle. And
what kind of college offers, Tim? Cutting you off, Coach.
That's all right.
Yeah. So I'm committed to Illinois State, but I had Southeast Missouri State, Southern Illinois, Northern Iowa, Tennessee Martin, Bryant, and then a few others.
Any HBCUs by any chance?
No, not. I mean, I didn't really talk to a lot of them. I don't know.
They don't have no cake to recruit like that to a degree unless it's one of the large ones. But
yeah,
because we are basically a Black network, not just on our sports, we have like 6 or 7 networks. I'm going to see to it, Coach, that I put you in contact with some of our HBCUs for some of your players, because I know they would love to have some of the talent that might not be Division I, that might be NAIA or what have you. And to me, the object is to get our kids in position to get that education, use the sport as a springboard for that education that might take care of them for the rest of their life. Speaking of education, Dorsey, where are you at on the academics? How important is the academics to your pursuit of happiness in the next realm?
Yeah, definitely top of the board, top of the line. Like, if my academics are not good, my parents aren't not gonna let me play football. So if they notice something, they get an alert or something that I didn't have, I'm missing assignment, or that something went wrong on this test, they're gonna like text me and be like, hey, like we need to get this figured out. And then if I'm not making it in the classroom, then I'm not playing on Friday night. So that's the biggest thing for me, is just it's gonna be my pretty much my life eventually. So I need to have good academics to go on in the world, and football's not going to always be there. So academics are definitely really high.
All right. Do you have anybody that you pattern your game after?
I mean, I really like Russell Wilson. He's probably my favorite quarterback. I just feel like we're really similar, just size, like height wise and everything. I feel like we're pretty much the same almost. And like, but also like obviously Tom Brady is just mental makeup and just everything he brings to the table. Aaron Rodgers, Mahomes, Watson, Murray, like all of them. I love them all. I love watching them and taking pieces of their game and putting into mine.
Are you a student of the game?
Yes, very much so.
Coach, hey, Coach, when I said that, you start nodding your head. There are very few athletes that I have had on this program. When I say that, everybody says I'm a student of the game. And I'm like, when I ask them any history about the game, they don't know a whole lot. They talk about they look at some film. I'm like, student of the game be like Kobe Bryant, Mike Tyson, people that know the history of the game. They constantly looking at their position, as you mentioned, Dorsey. What other people on the next level are doing at that position, and not necessarily you're copying, you're adapting to your own style, and you're taking and you're giving per se. Coach, run it down on his play.
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, student of the game for sure. You know, he's always wanting to get better. He's always watching other guys. You know, he's been lucky where he's been able to train with some other high-level quarterbacks and kind of pattern his game after what some of those guys do. You know, but then in season, I think it's the week-to-week and day-to-day improvement that he shows in his game. You know, he's
Who's
able to.
Who's your quarterback coach?
Our quarterback coach is Travis Grossidier. So Coach Gross has been doing that the last 3 years, and he's been on our staff for the last 9 years. He was on the defensive side before that.
Hey, Dorsey, how do you click with Coach?
Good. I mean, we have a really good relationship. I mean, he's a gym teacher, so I'm seeing him a lot of the times, and you know, we never really bump heads because we're pretty much on the same.
What have you taken from his coaching style? And hey, Coach, who calls the plays in?
I call him with a heavy influence from Coach Grossidier. So him and I kind of work together during the week and then on game nights, and then you know, but the final call comes through me. But Coach Gross has a heavy influence in what we run.
What kind of offense do you run, Coach? Are you a passing team or a running team or a combination?
You know, we try to be as balanced as we can. You know, last week we were more of a running team than we were a passing team. The week before we threw it more than we ran it. So, you know, we want to run spread. We want to play fast. We want to play up tempo. You know, so at the quarterback position, that's really important to have a guy that can be able to process all that stuff. And that's what, you know, Tim brings to us.
On the processing side, on a 1 to 10, where do you see him?
Oh, I think at this level, I think he's a 10. You know, you see some of the things that we ask him to do. He sets all of our pass protections. He's got to relay every play.
That's what I wanted to ask you, Dorsey. How well do you read the defense?
Yeah, I'd say pretty well. And I have 1 interception on the year, so I feel like I'm doing pretty well. And that interception was off a tip screenplay. So just reading the coverage is going to tell you a lot.
Have you been sacked this year?
Yeah, I've been sacked. Yeah,
a few times. He's gotten away though. He's gotten away from a lot of sacks. So he does a good job getting out of the pocket.
Yeah.
What kind of relationship do you have with your offensive line, Dorsey?
Yeah. Pretty good. I love them. I love them all.
I know you do.
Yeah, building that relationship with your offensive line is really good because you know they protect you and they're your defense. So you have to have a good relationship with them and just be positive with them. And I learned that this year, just being more of a positive leader. And Coach Holmes and Coach Gross told me that.
Hey, Coach, is either one of them a captain?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Both
of them are. Yep. Carson and Timothy are both.
Dorsey, what's your idea of leadership and being a captain of that team?
Yeah, leadership is definitely part vocal and then part, playing, like showing your play. I think not everybody's a vocal leader, but as a leader, you have to be vocal at times. And just by like little things, like saying like, "Hey, good job on that play," like, giving credit when credit is due, and then just being able to get everybody on the sideline up and going, and just being just being the leader, just being that guy.
On a 1 to 10, how well do you think you handle pressure?
10, I'd say. Sometimes I feel like now it's a 10, but before, in the beginning of the season, I think it was about an 8 or a 9, just because sometimes I would get flustered, and but then the other teammates and my O-line would pick me up, and that's what I need at times. But
Hey,
I
Coach,
learned that
go ahead and I'm saying, when it's heat in the kitchen, how does he handle the heat?
Yeah, he does a good job. He definitely stays in the kitchen with the heat. He doesn't get out of the kitchen.
He doesn't go in the living room.
He likes to face it. Absolutely. He sees the pressure, and I think at that position too, at the quarterback position, he understands he's going to be in situations where the pressure is going to be a little bit more on him than it is on other guys, and that's what I think that's what sets him apart from the other guys, is he knows how to handle it and doesn't get flustered with it, and finds a way to get better and to make sure that situation does not happen to him again.
Hey, Dorsey, pleasure having you on. What I would like for you, would you give on some closing remarks some advice to a young freshman coming into the system?
Trust the process. That's one of the things I would say. Really, just trust the process. Don't worry about if you're not playing varsity, you're not playing JV, because I didn't play varsity and playing quarterback until my junior year. So you have so much time. Like just hone on your skills and make sure you're ready, physically and mentally ready to go and play, because all those freshman to sophomore years are just building blocks for your upperclassmen years, and you just need to be ready. That's what I would say.
Excellent. Are you shouting out to anybody? Girlfriend, team, mom, dad?
Nah. I'll shout out my mom.
That little girl was gonna be like, you didn't shout out to me. What's wrong with you? You got another girl? That's what she's gonna be saying to you, Dorsey. Go ahead and shout out to the team, baby boy.
Yeah. Shout out to my team. Shout out to my linemen, my receivers, the defensive side, linebackers, corners. Shout out to my mom. I think she can hear me up there, but shout out to my mom. But yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's what's up. All right, bro. We can dig in on you, Carson. I think you already know the drill, so let's go back to kindergarten and run it down.
Yeah, so at a young age, I started playing football probably around preschool. My dad put me in sports at a young age because he played sports at a young age, and like he was really big on sports.
Tell the audience.
I played running back and safety and defensive back when I was young.
Go ahead.
So it was just learning from my brothers how to like play the positions at a young age. So at around second grade, I started playing FCC JC football for the Blue Valley Northwest Hub.
That's just his internet.
Uh-oh, we lost him.
I played with them for then after I was done playing with them, I went to high school and started playing for Bishop Miege like my brothers did, because I wanted to be like them.
Give your brothers their props. Running on down.
Yeah, so my oldest brother, Kalen Key, he's a senior in college right now.
Where's he at?
Northwest Missouri State. And then my middle brother, Cameron Key, he is a sophomore this year, and he's playing at K-State football.
Oh, first of all, your older one, what position was he playing?
Oh, he's a D tackle. So it's a very different position from what I play.
All right.
Different sizes. They're a little
Yeah.
different sizes. Kalen got the size. Carson got the speed.
You coached them all.
I did. I've coached all three of them.
All right. Well, I hate to pit. I love this, but which one was the best? I'm putting you on the spot, Coach.
Well, I don't know if you can pick one of the best. I know all three have been huge parts of our program. You know, Kalen.
Well, why don't you
Kalen
just
being a
go into
defensive lineman.
politics?
That's right. Kalen was a defensive lineman, so he was able to play as a freshman and started for 4 years. And Cameron started for 2.5 years, and then Carson's been going on now a year and a half. So, you know, all three have been a big part of what we do, and all three are obviously really different with their size. You know, Carson, like I said, he's the smallest. Carson won't tell you, but he's about 5'6", 135 pounds. But he does it all. You know, he plays corner, so there's a lot of receivers that he's having to go against that are bigger and stronger, but he's able to make the plays day after day.
Hey, Carson, my brother-in-law, bless his soul, he played corner for the Green Bay Packers back in the day. He was Lombardi's last pick before he left Green Bay. He had went to Texas El Paso back then and got drafted to the Packers. But he always talked to me about the heart that you had to have to really play that position. On a 1 to 10, where's your heart at?
My heart, I would say around 9 or 10, because there's always like room for improvement in my heart. I have to be more.
Tell me this, do you have more technique, or do you try to do brute force and stopping running backs and receivers when they get in your territory?
It's a lot of technique for me because, as Coach said, I'm not one of the biggest or strongest players on the field. So just knowing like how to tackle them and then how to stop the run and get off blocks is a lot of technique.
Tell me this, have you been timed in the 40?
Yes, I have.
What you doing, man? What you doing?
I ran a 4.6 40.
All right. That's not too bad. I was like 4.45, and that was back in the 60s, bro. But tell me this, what have you taken from the program from your freshman year? Run your freshman year to where you're at. Talk about some of the lessons that you've learned as a player, from an athletic standpoint, and as a person in your personal life. What have you taken off the football field that has helped you in your building your character?
Well, for personal, it's just to always keep on working hard when things don't go your way, to continue to work hard and like always give my best at everything that I do, because I don't know when like I'll get my shot, and I want to be ready for when I get my shot to excel.
Hey, when the coach says it's your shot, you shooting it. Tell me this. How do you feel about your education?
It's a huge part. My parents have instilled into me at a very young age. My dad's a doctor and my mom's an attorney, so they're really big on me about education.
Eggheads. You're an egghead. All right. Hey, nothing wrong with it. Do you have any siblings?
Yes, I have 2 older brothers and 1 younger sister.
Did any of them attend Bishop Miege?
Yes, my 2 older brothers attended Bishop Miege. They now graduated and into college.
They play sports?
Yep. They both play football.
That's right. Yep. I had the older brother.
Hey, Coach, man, what's up going on over there? You got the conveyor belt going on.
That's right. You
know what? That's something that is similar. When I was asking you, could you take a scrub and turn him into a player? We had a world-class team coming up and sports, and I found real good programs and real good coaching, they're going to have a conveyor belt. They might have a bad year now and then, but they're going to have a conveyor belt because they know how to take someone with a little bit of talent and take them to another level. And then when they get the people that have some talent that they can really put together, that's a monster. And it's hard to beat because you have that on a 1 to 10 athlete. By the time they get to be a senior, as both of your players said, I had to wait my turn. They have learned so much when you tap them to go in, they basically ready. Besides the jitters, and that's if they have that even. Am I right, Carson?
Yeah.
Well,
so yeah.
Tell the audience what that was like for you when you got your first start and you were coming up and you anxious to get into play.
Oh, my first start was in the playoffs against Paola. So coming in, I wasn't really.
Semi-final game. A lot of pressure. That's for sure.
Yeah. So it was warm-ups when we were about to go out on the field and start playing, that coach told me that I was gonna start. And at first, I was a little nervous because like it was my first time starting, and then like it was the playoffs and a lot of importance. But then I knew in my abilities that I was ready, and coach has coached me up through the week, and just knowing what they want to do on the offensive side of the ball, Paola. So other than the jitters, I knew I was ready to go and ready to compete against Paola and help the team get the win.
After that, did you start again?
Yeah, I started in the state championship game.
Go ahead, Carson, and tell them how you started the state championship game.
Yeah, talk to him, coach. Talk to him, baby.
Got you right here. He's got a good answer coming at you.
Yeah, so the opening kickoff, I took to the crib 99 yards.
99 yards. That's a way to start it.
Hey, what I like, describe that. Take your mindset back. Game starts. What was you thinking when the ball was in the air and it was coming to you? Describe that whole scene.
So when the ball was coming to me in the air, I knew one thing: just to catch the ball and then try to score, try to make a big play to start the game off right.
That starts the game off right.
That's a good way to start. That's for sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah, to make a statement in the game and to show the other team that we're ready to play and we want to win this state championship game.
When you got the ball, describe what happened.
So when I got the ball, I was looking for a hole to go around or go through. And then I finally saw a hole open up around the 20-yard line. And then I just took off, started running as fast as I could. And I wouldn't get caught.
Did you have any pursuit or what was going down?
Yeah, I had a lot of blockers in front of me, and there was a lot of pursuit from the other team, but the blockers kept on blocking, and they were running with me all the way down the sideline, trying to help me out.
When you hit the touchdown, what was going through your mind? Could you even believe it, or did your mind process all of that at that time?
No, I mean, I didn't really process it until I got to the sideline. I was kind of just in the moment right there and just celebrating with my teammates. I didn't really just process like what I did. All I knew was I was in the end zone and
Coach,
I scored.
what was you thinking? Because now from a coaching standpoint, a game standpoint, what was your thoughts on that moment?
Yeah, we wanted to start the game fast, and when Carson first caught the ball, we weren't quite sure what he was going to do with it. He kind of had to sidestep a defender. And then once we saw the crease open, our coaches on the headsets in the press box said, "Oh man, if he gets through, he's going to be gone." And he got through that line and he was gone. We knew what he can do when the ball's in his hand.
What I wanted to get to again, because I'm not a football coach. After you made that score, did you talk to the team about settling down, or what did you do?
We told them to keep going. I think
All
we
right, you
got to start
it
those
up.
games fast. I mean, it's a state championship game, and our goal was to get to 28 points as fast as we could, and we got it pretty fast. So that's what we wanted to do.
Hey, Dorsey, was you
Yeah.
quarterback in that game?
Yeah, I was.
What was your mindset?
Well, I saw Carson catch the ball, and then I was just like, I was sitting on the sideline. I got up because I was like on the kind of farther end, and I saw him running. I started running with him, so I was hyped, and I was running with him. I was like, go, go, go. He scored. I don't think I've ever been that hyped in a game, and it was, my first state championship game.
Tell me this, Coach. Did y'all anticipate a dog fight?
Oh, I think we do every game. We know we're getting every opponent's best shot. So it's our job on our end to make sure we're prepared for anything. And we knew a big play in the kicking game, especially to start a state championship game, was going to be huge and was going to kind of get the opponent to maybe question what they wanted to do. So, we definitely put the pressure on them. That's for sure.
Hey, Dorsey, what's the best game you had as a quarterback?
Best game. Probably that game. I had I think I threw for.
Why did I know that?
Probably that game. Yeah, I threw for 350 yards, I think, and 7 touchdowns. So it was a really good game.
Woo! What is your mental state after a game like that? Who do you think you are?
I mean, I'm still humbled and I'm still, who I am, but obviously there's some confidence that, I got during that game, and it was the last game of the season. So, I can't really go do it, show it in another game, but it was just building on my confidence.
I'm saying, did you say, hey, I'm going to be the next, oh boy, I'm showing my age. I was getting ready to say Johnny Unitas, but you going to be the next Cam, well, who's the contemporaries, Coach? Who's the contemporaries you compare him with?
Oh, he's set. Russell Wilson, man. Russell Wilson. He loves Russell Wilson and loves the way he plays.
All right. Getting back on your case, have you set any goals for yourself this season, personal?
Yeah. Oh wait.
No, I'm back. I'm back on your teammates' case. I'll be back on your case. We got plenty of time.
Yeah, we got to get running pretty quick. We got practice coming up.
All right. Well, what's your personal goals?
My personal goals are to get turnovers, a lot of interceptions, like five or six interceptions, and to make tackles. I plan on having about 50 tackles, just be a force.
Is that possible,
and stopping
Coach?
and running.
Oh, absolutely. He is well on his way. That's for sure. After 4 games.
Hey, Dorsey, what's your goals for this season?
Win state. Take one game, one at a time. Be 1-0 after every game.
No, your personal goals. You haven't set. I want so many passes, so many this, so many that. Without no picks.
Oh yeah, I do, but it's also with the COVID situation. So I've just been able to just kind of. It's more team oriented for me because I'm just so happy that we get to play. So it's just my personal goals are just more team oriented. So yeah, every game I have, goals set, but I'm also like, hey, I want to win and I want to get to the state championship every year, like we do every year.
You got anything you want to close with? Because we're getting ready to close up.
I mean, I'm pretty good. No, I'm great.
Hey, Carson, what you want to close out with, partner?
Nothing really. I'm good right now. There's nothing really I want to say. I mean,
talk to a freshman real quick.
A freshman?
Yeah,
so
keep them in, they be thinking that they all of this in a piece of cake. Get them in line.
Yeah, I say, I mean, you haven't really done anything as a freshman. You have to earn the respect and all the awards that come with us. Just because winning program doesn't mean you have won yet. You got to work hard and try to help us win.
I love that. Boy, hey, Coach, your players are well schooled in the sport and eloquent in their speeches and their conversations.
Oh,
Are you
absolutely.
closing out, Coach? What you closing out with?
Yeah, kind of what both these guys said. Number one, I think we appreciate the opportunity to come on and talk a little bit about our program and about ourselves. I know everybody's got a story, and a lot of people seen our program in the public eye and, have asked how we've been able to be successful. And, it's definitely the players we have in our program. I know you've heard from two of them here today, and, we got a bunch more just like them that are all tremendous kids that understand what it takes to win and understand that there's more than life than football. Number one, I think both these guys touch on the academics, which is really important because, the game of football could be over for them tomorrow, could be over for them today. And, what are you going to do after the game is what really separates you from the other guys. And, there's a lot of people in our program that understand that. So, obviously winning's great, but it's seeing these guys succeed, as a father, as a husband is what really makes it here, really makes it special. And, I'm getting to a point now where I'm coaching some guys that are becoming husbands and fathers. And, to me, that's better.
How satisfying is that to you?
Oh, that's the best.
When you see the young ones come and turn into adults and productive citizens.
Oh, that's the best. Just because everything that we try to instill in them while they're here, we only get them 4 short years. So they're going to be away from our program a lot longer than they are with us. So I think to be able to see how our 4 years can shape them and kind of help get them on the right path for the rest of their life is what really is what's special. And that's what makes coaching. Everybody can win a game, everybody can lose a game, but it's how you develop your players to, when they're away from you after high school and college, and then when they become adults, how are they going to handle things? And hopefully as a coach, you're able to instill some things that make them a great husband and a great father, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Hey, Coach, I'm going to steal my line from one of my co-interviewers, Jim Watts. It was a plum pleasing pleasure to interview you and your student athletes. And as we always say here at Cascade Sports, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. Good night.
Program is brought to you by the Kansas City Business Association.